Hey everybody, just a quick video today to talk about my Terra-Master NAS. I was in the market for a NAS last year, tail end of last year, and looked at Synology and QNAP and all those name brands and found they were just too expensive. I didn't want to pay that much. I wanted to have some money left over so that I could actually buy a couple of decent hard drives. And as I was cruising through Amazon.ca, as you do when you are a Canadian, I came across Terra-Master. So Terra-Master has fantastic reviews. Did some research, lots of YouTube videos out there if you want to see what they are. That's not what this video is, just talking specifically about my experience. And so I purchased one. And what I purchased was this one here, the F5-221, which was a 5-bay NAS with an Intel dual-core CPU. So not as fancy as maybe the quad cores, but it was Intel, which was important to me. I just find that I've had devices previously with MediaTek CPUs and other assorted CPUs, but this is an Intel Celeron specifically, and it's not even an ARM-based processor. It is a true Intel. It supported up to 16 terabyte hard drives, and it had 2 gigabit LAN ports, and it was significantly less expensive than an equivalently equipped Synology or QNAP NAS was. So I went for it. And I have not been disappointed. So if you do your research, what you will find is that Terra-Master is a solid platform from a hardware perspective, but is also solid when it comes to the basic functions of a NAS. So what do I mean by that? Data storage, managing your volumes and your hard drives, your sharing of files, whether it be through Windows type file sharing like Samba or NFS or that type of thing. Very well done. Also from an rsync server perspective, it works exceptionally well. I've used it with my Linux servers, and also to back itself up to other platforms is fairly intuitive, and it works. Where you'll find its downfall is in its third-party applications. Synology and QNAP maintain a library of third-party applications that extend the functionality of your NAS. Terra-Master does the same thing. However, they're not as mature. The applications that are there work. So for example, I run Plex on this NAS and it works phenomenally well. But what you'll find is that the selection is not near as great or as populated as Synology or QNAP. And you'll also notice that the versions are slightly behind, if not very slightly behind. Actually, no. They're either slightly behind or they're very far behind. That is something that there's a lot of discussion in the forums about, and something that I personally have commented on, and they've acknowledged it. They've acknowledged that they're going to look into it. But again, they are a smaller company. They are still super dedicated. I mean, their forum response, their ability to respond in the forums is phenomenal. But it takes a little bit more patience. Again, core functionality, fantastic. I've had this running since October, and we've gone through a couple of updates since then, including we went from operating system 4.1 to 4.2 without issues. Now, again, you have to understand there's some quirkiness, let's call it. It's not issues with the updates themselves. The issues actually come from the fact that we only discovered that there were updates in the forums. On the official website, it was still showing that the latest update was 4.1. So things like that, right? They're very focused on development. They're very focused on fixing bugs. There's some disconnect there when it comes to communication and getting their website fully updated. However, if you are willing to get involved in at least reading the announcements on the forums, you will keep fully up to date. The other thing is that because they haven't released the operating system updates on their website, The automatic update has not worked for the last 3 updates. It's really simple. You download a file, you go to the update page in your Terra-Master NAS configuration, and you upload the file and it does the update. And I've had 0 issues with all 3 updates that I've done since acquiring this NAS. But it is important to know that that this is how it's happened the last few times. That being said, I mean, here's the thing. If it's more important to you to save a few bucks, and you are willing to be a little more patient, and you are willing to take on a lot of the tinkering, which is needed to get a little bit more functionality out of this, I would say that this is a fantastic NAS. For me, that's who I am. I am a tinkerer. I'm more than happy to get on the command line, do a couple of things. That's kind of to get some of those apps working that I was talking about before. For the base and core functionality, you will never have to go to a command line. But if you're willing to make some exceptions in order to save what is a decent chunk of change, I mean, ultimately, it helped me get a couple of $100, or save a couple of $100 to put towards hard drives. I would say this is fantastic. It's a fantastic buy. Just from a cost perspective, if we pop over here to Amazon.ca, you'll see that the current price for this unit is $479.99. It's a little on the expensive side. I mean, ultimately, if you're going to drop $500 on something, does it make sense to maybe save that $500 and get yourself to $800 and get yourself a Synology 4-bay NAS with a quad-core processor? Yeah, maybe. But you would have to understand that that's $200 that you could put towards some decent hard drive. Or you can wait until Black Friday, or wait till, and I understand that those have just passed, but I picked this up on Black Friday for $383.99. So I saved another $100. So I ended up only paying about $400 for this thing, and was able to take almost $300 and put that towards hard drives. So, I mean, it really depends. For me, this was the right thing to do. And because I bought it within the Amazon's Christmas period, it means that I could effectively still return this thing. I can return it until January 31st. I've had it since October. And, I've sat down and really thought about whether I would do that or not. But in reality, there's no way. Even if I returned this now and got $400 back, there's no way that I would want to be without a NAS now and wait until I had enough money to go to a Synology, because when I look at it, that Synology really doesn't have any functionality that I'm going to use above and beyond what I have right now. Will it have a ton more applications in the third-party range? Sure, absolutely it does. But how important are those to me? I have to understand that this is doing for me what it is that I set out to do with it. So gaining all of that those extra apps and extra functionality, it's really not doing anything for me. So anyway, that's just a quick. I wanted to share my experience with the Terra-Master NAS, and I wanted people to understand that it is fantastic for what it does. If you guys want more videos about what I do or how I set up the NAS, or how to set up backup jobs, those are things that I'm going to be doing in the future. But what I would like is if you guys want to let me know about any specific functionality you'd like to see, or anything you'd like me to review that would help you make your decision to purchase this NAS, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll release them in future videos. If you like this video, I don't have to tell you what to do. Please give it a great thumbs up. I would really be appreciated. If you are interested in more Terra-Master and or other technology reviews, which hopefully I will have coming soon, please subscribe, and we'll see you then.